Um, how, from your perspective, do you start by having creating a leadership culture for the organization? How does that come about?
That's a really that's a good question, Mike, and it's a difficult question to answer. So, how do you lead volumes of people? And the short answer is through your managers. How do you create the leadership culture? You ensure that your managers share the same worldview of what leadership means. And my view is, I think our leaders in RPS have three key roles. They have to inspire, they have to motivate, and they have to develop. So setting the culture requires my leaders to be able to do that, and then to really reaffirm those standards throughout the organization. And when I say inspire, it doesn't mean that you have to be Winston Churchill or Barack Obama and stand up in front of people and make grand speeches or make grand gestures. It's about linking people's day-to-day activities to the direction, strategy, and success of the company. So no matter what you do, every day there's an opportunity during the working day to talk to someone and to find out what they're doing, and then to tell them why it's important, and to tell them what their contribution is towards the success of the company and the organization. And it is quite difficult sometimes, but when you can do it and when you can get it right, when you can think of the organization and what it's achieving and what those constituent parts are doing for success and link it through to the success of the company, you've got the ability to motivate. The ability to inspire. The second thing is to motivate, and I think motivate good and motivate bad. Statistically, I think we spend 90% of our time giving constructive feedback, and you might call that negative feedback, and 10% of our time, if we're lucky, doing positive feedback. We like to flip that. It's difficult to do, but when someone has done a good job, and sometimes someone's done a good job, so they hit every single delivery milestone in their project on time to the required quality, and it might well be a project that doesn't get the airtime as some of our more glamorous projects. We have to meet those people, we have to get to those people and explain why it's important what they've done and why that is good for the organisation, why they are good in terms of delivering it. The second part of motivation is when people aren't delivering to the required standards, is to make them aware that they're not. To have very clear boundaries about what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable, because there is nothing more demotivating for most of our high performers than to see an organisation accept low performers. So we've got to inspire, we've got to motivate. The most important element of leadership, I believe, is to develop. We can develop the capabilities of our team across the piece. I try to work within my consulting lead team to develop each other. We know what things we can do better, and so we know what we have to do differently, and we discuss it on a regular basis. But if you develop your leaders, then your job becomes that much more easier as you go through the years. I believe that people are attracted to organisations where their career is developed. And actually, I'd like to make RPS the sort of, the beacon of somewhere you go to develop your career. And that is a role which is, if you sit there and you do not develop your staff within an organisation, you'll have the same organisation when you leave 3, 4, 5 years later. So inspire, but not as Winston Churchill, link people's efforts to the success of the company. Motivate, tell our people what's good, tell our people what's not acceptable, and develop everybody. Everybody has the ability to develop. If you're the world's best control systems engineer, then you have to keep abreast of what's coming over the horizon, the new techniques, the new technology. If you want to be the next CEO, you've got to take the first step and understand the portfolio of things which you probably didn't understand. Everybody can develop.